As you've probably seen in my weaving videos, I have got an antique stain on my loom. And I really like this. You may not like this, but if you do, here's some tips about how to prepare heddles. The heddles come from Ashford unprepared. What I mean by that is the wood on them is unfinished. But the problem, as you can probably see, is that it's really easy for the stain to get caught in the gaps in the heddles. To contrast the natural wood as it comes with the stain, here's a little art box that I've previously stained. And you can see it's quite dark. I like this because it tends to not get dirty and grungy over time, and it gives a reasonable amount of protection to the wood. I use this amazing Monty's guitars weathering or aging wax. It's designed for guitar necks, but you can use it on any wood. I've done about 3 or 4 guitar necks, a loom, and 5 or 6 heddles, shuttles, other stuff, and I've still got more than half of it left. It's a great deal. I'll leave a link below so that you can find it. The trick is to mask off the heddle before you stain the wood, and that saves a whole bunch of cleanup later. I use this 3M low-tech masking tape. It works really well. If you use tape that has a really strong adhesive, it's kind of a pain to remove, so I really recommend this. I'm going to wrap this around the back side of the heddle, and then I pull out a piece that's long enough for the heddle. This is a 32-inch heddle, and then wrap it on the other side and just repeat for each of the edges. Okay, you also want to mask up the middle. You don't have to. If you can be careful just on the tape, you'll be good. But otherwise, either masking a piece of paper or a wider piece of tape. I've been doing a painting project and I had this nice wide masking tape, which I actually dislike greatly because it keeps ripping. So I'm just going to use that because it needs to get used up. And if you leave this stuff sticking around for any length of time, the glue tends to get sticky and it doesn't work as well, and you can't pull it off without ripping it. Make sure you push the tape down on itself just so that it stays in place. You don't have to push it too hard. The harder you push, the harder it'll be to remove, but you want to make sure that you're in your edges, and otherwise you're going to have a big white line. Okay, do the same on this side and then we'll start staining. I use an old cotton rag for this, as you can see. There's another staining rag here. These have had quite a lot of use. What I'm going to do is actually pull out quite a lot. You don't want to pull out too much because otherwise it's just going to go everywhere, but the wood will absorb it. So you want a little dollop on here. Okay, let me grab some more. Okay, that's going to be perfect. And you'll see as we put this on, it's going to go on pretty streaky, and that's fine. It's hard to do this one-handed, but what I'm going to do is just kind of rub chunks on. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here and just kind of merge this in. Okay, so just basically spread out the dollops. Get the top edge. And what we're going to do is spread this on pretty thick and then just leave it. One thing to bear in mind is you want to focus on the ends a bit. That end grain will actually soak up quite a lot of wax, so we want to come around here as well. So I'm going to cover the whole thing and we'll come back. Okay, we're almost complete except for this last side, so I'm actually going to show you what I do here. So again, I'm going to put it on quite thickly. The key and why we do the masking is now I can go up the inside and I can really push this in, and I'm not worried about it getting into the gaps in the heddle, which is difficult to clean out. It's not the end of the world if you did. The first thing you weave, you want to make it brown. And then that way you won't see the stain. And that's it. I'm going to leave the stain now for an hour or so. I want to make sure and double check on the ends. Make sure that I've got the insides up here. And we should be in pretty good shape. It's looking good. So I'll leave this to sit. The stain will kind of sink into the grain, and we'll just come in a bit and just sort of rub off any excess so it doesn't get on your hands, because it will make your hands pretty dirty. Okay, we left this for a while and I cleaned it up, and as you can see from this rag, quite a lot of stain comes off. I'm probably going to leave it for another couple of hours and then give it another wipe down. But you can see the stain goes very nicely into the embossing for the heddle size, which I like a lot. So let's pull off the tape and see what we've got. Okay, and here's the finished result. You've got a nice clean edge, and the heddle remains free of the staining wax. I'm really pleased with this. So it's an easy project to do. You can just use the regular wood wax. It's totally fine. I mean, you know, but I kind of like the way that this comes out, and it makes it look a little antiqued. So it's pretty cool. So the wax I used is Montespresso from Monty's Guitars in the UK. I have treated all of the Ashford stuff that I've bought that doesn't already have a finish on it. So a ball winder, for example, does have a finish, so you wouldn't be able to use this on that. But for the loom and loom accessories, I think it provides a really nice finish. Hope this is useful to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye bye.